Now, a party election broadcast from the Socialist Labour Party.
I went to university straight from school, straight from home, really happy, tiny bit of money in my pocket. And the grant that I got a full grant, just covered my rent and left £200 to spare. And with that, I had to buy my books, my clothes, my travel, my food, going out, absolutely everything. So I was forced to take the loan. I mean, there is a loan facility there. So I've done that for 2 years, huge overdraft as well, and just thought this September, well, I can't go back.
The system will resort back to how it was 50 years ago, where the privileged few received a university education and the working classes didn't.
And I mean, to be taken away from your home and all the things that are in it, you know, that you've gathered together over, I mean, over a lifetime, to lose that, it's horrendous to whichever way you look at it.
I think the most worrying thing for me in terms of people in need, elderly people, people with disabilities, is that they are being exposed to the market now. Care in the community is a real misnomer.
You've got John Major talking about offensive beggars in the Houses of Parliament. You've got Jack Straw talking about squeegee merchants and all this sort of thing, and they're not talking about sorting out the causes of these problems. What they're talking about at the end of the day is just using them as a convenient scapegoat, someone who can't speak up, someone who can't really fight back, not in a position to fight back.
We've got 250,000 skilled, semi-skilled and manual workers, construction workers, on the dole, on job seekers allowance. It doesn't make sense.
Fundamentally, the rights of people living in this country have been so far reduced that effectively quite important laws which have been in this country for centuries now, the right to silence, for example, the right to protest freely, the right to picket, have all effectively been taken away. Those rights were fundamental to the way in which democracy works, and over the last 10 years, and over the last 18 years more particularly, those rights have been eroded. New Labour does not intend to give us those rights back.
You see, the other aspect of privatisation, not just on the railways, but in almost every walk of our lives now, is what's been mentioned, this springing up of agencies that employ people on part-time, short-term contracts, where people now, many people in this country go to bed on a night not knowing whether tomorrow morning they're going to find out that they haven't got a job anymore, or maybe next month they're not going to have a job anymore, or next year. People just have no job security at all, can't plan their lives, can't look forward to any kind of a future, and are constantly on the precipice of poverty.
I'd like to see the recreation of community within our society, and it's something that's been destroyed piece by piece over a number of years. Communities around industries, just communities in geographical areas, and we've all been individualised and isolated. When this Tory government was elected in 1979, my son was a rising 5. He's never been brought up with that sense of community, and I think it's a very sad loss to him. We didn't used to lock our door then. Our front door was never locked. That was okay. We lived in a community. Now, to get house insurance, you have to have a burglar alarm and 5 locks on the door. And I think we need to bring that sense of community back. And I believe that the Socialist Labour Party's policies will lead to that kind of community being created.
The fears and hopes expressed by these people can only be answered by the Socialist Labour Party, the only party with policies to deal with the question of unemployment, racism, homelessness and despair. There is now no difference between the Tories, Liberal Democrats and New Labour. All support the free market and policies which have led to mass unemployment and for utter hopelessness for both our young and old. If you really want to change on the 1st of May, then I urge you to vote for the Socialist Labour Party.
That was a party election broadcast from the Socialist Labour Party.